Thank you, Madam President. We've heard a lot of talk this evening, and I can tell you that I do believe in giving someone a second chance. And when I say that, I'm not just saying that. I have employed people who've been formerly incarcerated. So when I say I believe in it, I don't just talk the talk, I walk the walk. Have someone in my employ right now who's formerly incarcerated. But I knew full well going in what that person's background was, what they did. But I'm a small business owner, and I have the right to have that judgment with full knowledge. So when you talk about right now who is currently employing formerly incarcerated people here in New York State, you know who it is? It's small business owners like me. It's not those big corporations. It's not the people that all of a sudden now have jumped out of the woodwork to say, we support this. No, it's people like me. So we have to ask ourselves, why all of a sudden do we have this turnaround, business counsel, so forth? Well, I really believe it has a lot to do with this civil liability shield. Now, this applies to everyone, small business, big business, individuals, I get that. But if you're a small business owner and you hire someone that you have no knowledge of what they have done, and something goes wrong, chances are it's going wrong to you or your loved one, the family member that works in your business, or the people that you know. What happens if it goes wrong, at an Amazon warehouse? A guy who has a history of violence assaults a fellow worker in the Amazon warehouse? Well, you think Jeff Bezos gives a damn? No. But he wants that liability shield. He wants to be protected from having to pay the price. But for me or my fellow small business owners, that really doesn't matter, because the damage that will be done has more to do with anything but money. It has to do with the impact it's going to have on the people that I know and love and work with every day. I hear a lot from my colleagues on the other side of the aisle about the Republican Party is the party of big business and corporations. Well, I would say that this is a big gift to those big corporations. In fact, I've been here for 3 years. I don't remember ever giving anyone any kind of a civil liability shield. Do you? When was the last time we gave anybody a civil liability shield from this legislature? In fact, we probably passed 100 bills that have a private right of action. This bill has a private right of action. We actually incubate civil liability lawsuits here in this chamber. That's really what we do. And that's my concern. The folks that are in favor of this all of a sudden, they're not being altruistic. They're being opportunistic. At the end of the day, this is not good for business. And I know I'm hearing, yes, it is. There's 1 million people right now that have convictions. Because these big corporations, they could hire them right now. That was mentioned earlier. There's literally nothing stopping any of those businesses from hiring a formerly incarcerated person. I do it, other small business owners do it. They have policies against it because it's going to cost them money if something goes wrong. Now it won't. But the emotional impact of something going wrong isn't going to be visited upon those folks sitting in a boardroom 1,000 miles away. And that's the problem with this. If these folks were all in, they would have done this without a civil liability shield. If they were so altruistic, they would have done it without that protection. But they're not. And that's the problem with this bill, in my opinion. So what are we going to get from taking this giant risk? Are we going to be tracking the statistics, the workforce participation rate? Is it going to go up? Are we going to see all of a sudden all these open positions filled because we have 1 million New Yorkers that can't work because of a prior criminal conviction? Maybe, maybe not, but I don't think there's anything in this bill that actually asks us to track that information, to see if the risk we're taking actually pays off for New York. Are we going to see lower rates of recidivism? Because right now, they're going up, not down. Will we see lower rates of recidivism in New York State as a result of this bill? I suspect we won't, but then again, no one's going to actually look to see if that actually happened. That's not required in this bill. So there's a lot of flaws that have been pointed out, but at the end of the day, I do believe in a second chance. But with this bill and the unlimited number of times that people get, I don't believe in a 22nd chance. So I'll be voting no. Thank you, Madam President.